Hello everybody, it's Philly Kuts with another comic book haul, number 51, the Hump Day Haul. Next week it'll be a year, 1 year, since I started collecting comic books again. I can't believe it's gone by so fast, and it's amazing how quick time flies. I'm proud of myself for putting up a video almost every week for a year, which is something that's been a bit of a personal challenge for me. Because I have, been vlogging on YouTube for quite a while before, doing different kinds of things, unboxings, beer reviews, video game reviews, stuff like that. But I never consistently uploaded something on a set schedule like I have with the comic book haul. And I want to thank everybody who has been along for the ride. So I should be having a shout out video soon to all you guys. I love it when you guys comment on my videos, let me know how I'm doing, letting me know what books you're reading, maybe recommending what books I can check out. I'll try to do my best. As we all know, this can be an expensive hobby, $3 to $4 a pop per new issue, sometimes $5 if it's an annual or something. You guys know the deal. It could be pretty expensive. But I thank all you guys for hanging in there with me. So I hope to maybe begin doing some new things with the comic book haul. I may start branching out and doing other videos. I'm thinking about maybe doing like a Mike Mignola segment, because I buy so many books by Mike Mignola, BPRD, Hellboy stuff, Lord Baltimore stuff. So, I'm invested in a lot of Mike Mignola. Who can forget Abe Sapien? So I'm thinking about maybe once a month or something reviewing one of those books more in depth. And also I'm thinking about maybe selecting a few other titles and maybe reviewing those more in depth, like maybe Green Lantern or BPRD, books that I really have been with for the whole year since I started collecting again. So expect to see that soon, and expect to see me probably put out a video showcasing my entire collection over a year of collecting again. So that should be fun. And I can show you guys all the graphic novels and floppies that I've amassed since I started collecting again. So, let's get started. We got a stack of comics. I got one little graphic novel there. As you can see, it says Mignola on it. I kid you not. I think Mike Mignola is part of my haul every week. So, let's start with DC Green Lantern number 44. And this month, it is the 75th year anniversary of Green Lantern, and that is the original Green Lantern in the red and purple cape, Alan Scott, who I know nothing about. I've never read a Green Lantern adventure with the original Green Lantern. But we got Hal Jordan here in short hair. He's got the long hair now because he's the Renegade. He's been branching out on his own. The Renegade storyline has been pretty interesting. You got a little bit of Black Hand in it. Black Hand has been turning planets possibly into stone. Or has he? He's lost his Death Hand touch, and he's been turning planets into stone. The whole Green Lantern universe is kind of upside down because the Green Lantern Corps is missing. There's no Green Lanterns in the known universe as we know it. Or they've been moved to another part of the universe so far away that nobody knows where that is or where they are. And Hal Jordan is left on his own. He's this sole renegade Green Lantern. And he's kind of amassed a nice little team around him. This guy Virgo and this other character, the Trapper, who plays a key part in this issue. Now, the Trapper is actually Hal Jordan's prisoner right now. He's a prisoner. But Virgo, the man that Hal Jordan freed from the clutches of an evil Baron, there he is on the slab there. Well, Virgo is in rough shape, okay? Virgo in the last issue tried to help Hal Jordan out. Hal Jordan was in a disguise, incognito, had to confront the Relic about some things that were going on. Had to find out some information, see if he could get some information about the whereabouts of the Green Lantern Corps. And Virgo tried to fly out and help him. And things got a little messy for Virgo, and now he's in need of a doctor. So Trapper and Hal Jordan go down on this planet, and try to find him a doctor. Now, the good thing is that this is pretty much like a one-shot issue. You can go in and out, read this. It's kind of a self-contained story. It's kind of like a Wild West story. It's Hal Jordan and this guy go to town. They need to find a doctor, and they run into some bad guys. These dudes called the Thanagarians, who I know nothing about, but they're these people who have decided to take shop up on this planet. They remind me of like Hawkman. But these bad guys have taken up residence on this planet, and they've been robbing whoever lands on it. So it's a good old-fashioned brawl. You know, Hal Jordan and Trapper, who is now on Hal Jordan's side, because Trapper is actually a bad guy. But Hal Jordan has put a device on Trapper. He said, basically, if you mess around, I got this device on your wrist. It's going to emit a paralyzing agent in your body. It's going to stop every muscle in your body except your heart. So that's how they got around that. But it turns out that him and Trapper really come to rely on each other in this issue. And some good things happen. So it's nice to see that Hal Jordan's kind of forming a new core around himself. There's lots of good fighting between Hal Jordan and the Thanagarians, and also with Trapper. And it's just nice to see a new team forming around Hal Jordan, because let's face it, it's kind of lonely out there for him. And a hallmark of the Green Lantern universe is that there's just so many characters, so many factions, so many cores, that it is kind of hard for me to read a Green Lantern story kind of just with Green Lantern in it. Now, I know there are a lot of people have been pissed off over the years with the New 52, and they're saying that, oh my god, there's just too many factions, too many lanterns, too many colors, but since I've gotten back into collecting, I've loved it, so I have no complaints. That's why Green Lantern is one of my favorite universes that I highly recommend. You never run out of characters, you never run out of different races, different aliens, different locales, different planets. It's just an amazing universe. I love Green Lantern. Okay. And Green Lantern universe kind of takes up more of my haul this week. I picked up Lobo number 10. This is part of the Sinestro Rising storyline, written by Cullen Bunn. It's all connected. Sinestro is taking advantage of the fact that there's no Green Lantern Corps to regulate the rest of the universe. So he's, you know, making his army rise up. If you read last week in his own series, he's been up to no good. He's been recruiting a lot of different people across the universe to build up his army. He's also created a group of yellow manhunter robots that are powered by the yellow energy. And in this, I'm going to, you know, reveal some spoilers in here. This cover is a bit misleading. There is no showdown in this issue between Lobo, everyone's favorite bounty hunter from the 90s, and Sinestro. Essentially, if you read the Lobo annual, you have found out that Sinestro has hired Lobo to take on some duties for him. Originally, Sinestro used a third party to hire Lobo to take a contract on himself, out on Sinestro. Sinestro wanted to see the goods that Lobo had. So if you actually want to see more of a confrontation, I guess, if I remember correctly, between Lobo and Sinestro, check out the Lobo annual. That's a better book. But in this, Sinestro is hiring Lobo to take out different lanterns. It begins with Lobo cleaning house with the indigo lanterns, the knock-knock lanterns. There's some of them right there. And Lobo just goes in, he takes charge. I'm beginning to like Lobo between reading the annual and leafing through this issue. He's vicious, man. There he is, like, beheading and disemboweling an indigo lantern. Indigo lanterns are tough, you know, they're nothing to shake a stick at. And he's a pretty badass character. And I know in the 90s he was actually one of DC's most popular books. And I can see why. This is looks like a promising issue. There's also some Red Lantern in here. Red Lanterns, that book got discontinued after Convergence. You see the return of Bleeze. You're also seeing Atrocious and his cat, Dax Star, in the end here, and it kind of sets up for a showdown with the Red Lanterns, who apparently have been waiting in the wings as well for shit to happen. So it looks like there is going to be another huge war amongst the various rings throughout the universe. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes down. There's also warnings in here to Lobo. Hey, you got to be careful with Sinestro. You know, he could backstab you. He's a scoundrel. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And I'll be following that, and I'll be, I guess I'm going to be buying Lobo for a little while. Detective Comics, number 55. This is the last story of this current arch. Commissioner Gordon, of all people, is the Batman. He's Mecha Batman. What would Mecha Batman be without a Mecha Joker bot? It's kind of a little bit ridiculous, I know. I'm kind of looking through this, and it's a little ridiculous. But you essentially have a big showdown between a Mecha Joker bot and a Mecha Batman bot. If you were reading in the last issue, this circus troupe of assassins basically roughed up Jim Gordon, a.k.a. Batman, and stole his power core, or one of his power cores, to his suit. And that was in order to power the suit of the Joker bot. Now, who is controlling the Joker bot? It's none other than a woman who is referring to herself as Joker's daughter. And there's a bit of a showdown between Joker's daughter and Batman once Joker's daughter gets out of the suit. Kind of ridiculous. It's revealed that Joker's daughter essentially kidnapped this scientist who constructed the Joker bot for her, and then she hired those circus assassins to find the power core. This is written by Brian Buccellato. He's doing a really good job. If you haven't checked out through Image Comics, Sons of the Devil, highly recommend it. Great book, gritty, enjoyable. It's like Tales of Two Cities. You know, I'm finding that the writing in a lot of parts is corny. You know, Mecha Batman, Joker bot. I mean, it's a little ridiculous. The part of the writing that I do like in this book and that I'm enjoying the most is kind of the interaction between Detective Yip and Detective Harvey Bullock, and then also the problems that Harvey Bullock has been having with Jim Gordon becoming the new Batman. And that Bullock is having problems that he now is part of Jim Gordon's, like, backup team. But there's also an underlying story that's playing out that Yip is corrupt and that she's in cahoots with the Falcone family, and there are strange things afoot. There's a big, huge plot twist in this that's very enjoyable concerning that storyline, and that storyline for sure is what I'm finding more enjoyable and intriguing about this book. So I say check it out. Also enjoying Detective Comics a little bit more because they haven't revealed what's going on with Bruce Wayne yet, like they're doing in the main Batman comic. And also in Catwoman, where it's been revealed that Batman has been working at, like, Gotham Community Youth Center, of all things. You know, he's taken on, like, a social worker-esque job helping out the community, I guess, in a less violent way, of all things. So I'm just liking that it seems like Detective Comics may be extending the Commissioner Gordon as Batman storyline a little bit longer than the regular Batman series. I think that Bruce Wayne is going to become Batman fairly soon in the regular Batman series. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way it's looking. Okay, we have Batman Arkham Knight, number 8. Got lots of Harley Quinn and Killer Croc in here. What can I say? I enjoy the way that Harley Quinn looks in her regular title. I can't remember who the artist is in that, compared to this Harley Quinn, who looks a bit strange and kind of busted. Like, the regular Harley Quinn in the series, in her own series, is pretty attractive, pretty cute, pretty appealing. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm a bit behind on Batman Arkham Knight, a few issues. It's in part of my backlog, but it looks like that there's a lot of stuff going on in here with Harley Quinn, and he does a lot of battles with Killer Croc. There's a bit of Penguin in here. The one thing about the issues that I have read with Arkham Knight is that it's like a hyper freaking cornucopia of Batman villains that roll in and out of this series, like Bane and Joker was in the beginning, and craziness, just absolute craziness. There's usually 1 to 2 stories per issue. The second story actually has a bit of the Arkham Knight in there, and it's called Suicide Blues. It's part 1 of 2. So I don't know. This is on keep or sleep status because I'm so far behind on it. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comment section below. How long is this series going to be going out for? Like, is this an indefinite series? I know that it's known as the official prequel to the Arkham Knight trilogy finale, the video game series. So I guess one thing that possible bonus for me is that I'm creeping and waiting for that Arkham Knight video game. I'm going to probably get it for Xbox One. Waiting for that to drop down in price. You know, if you play video games, you always know that video games drop down in price fairly quickly. I know that I've seen on Amazon already and at Best Buy that game is going down to $50. I'm going to kind of bide my time and wait for that to probably go down to like 30. And hopefully the DLC package, which I heard has sucked so far, it's $40 for the DLC package. Hopefully that's going to go down as well. And if I can get both the DLC package and the Batman game for, say, $40 or $50, I'm going to bite on it. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till Black Friday. That's when I feel there's going to be a big deal on that. More Green Lantern universe in the Omega Men. This is written by Tom King. This is a phenomenal book. You have a guest artist in this book. 2 artists, Toby Cypress and Romando Fajirado. I think I just butchered his name. I don't know how I'm feeling about the new artwork. It's a bit strange. Lots of kind of weird, elongated looking bodies in it. Check that out. That's Princess Callista, who we learned a lot about last issue. Looks like her legs are like twice the length of her body, of her chest and stomach and stuff. And I don't know how I'm feeling about that. The artwork is a bit strange. All along, this has kind of been having like a 9-panel layout. They've been doing some tricks with this 9-panel layout in this issue that's been giving some of the figures a bit of pop, which is cool. But I'm a little reserved about it. Anyway, this issue gives a nice primer on the White Lantern, Kyle Rayner. As we all know, if you've been reading this series, Kyle Rayner is a prisoner of the Omega Men. He's had a bomb implanted in his throat. And if he goes astray or tries to take advantage of any of the Omega Men, boom, he's dead, folks. And then the second half of this issue kind of goes into more backstory about Princess Callista, which, I feel that may be a bit redundant because that's pretty much what all of last issue was about Princess Callista and how the Omega Men are trying to pull one over on the Alphas. Primus is in on it. She's the Omega Men's prisoner, but not really. And just some hijinks and tomfoolery going on with that. But Omega Men, it's a good book. I recommend you check it out. Highly recommend it. Okay, Mike Mignola, Christopher Golden, Peter Berting, the artist. This is the conclusion of Lord Baltimore, Cult of the Red King. The man who has no feelings, the man who feels that he has just become a killing machine, an automaton of death and destruction. It's the conclusion. And basically the whole theme of this story has been, can Lord Baltimore find a bit of his humanity? He's been so hell-bent on getting revenge on the vampire that killed his family that he's lost a lot of his humanity. He just feels cold. He feels heartless. He's been trying to do all this stuff on his own without the help of people. And in this issue, or actually in the whole series, Lord Baltimore has come to rely more on a team. And that's been kind of refreshing to read. And it's been broken up into two teams. You have one that's stationed in St. Petersburg, Russia, and another team in Carthage, who's taking on a cult members of the Red King. And there's been lots of battling. There's these cool masks that they have to wear, and if they wear the masks, there's these wraiths that remind me of the wraiths from Lord of the Rings. If they wear the masks, the wraiths will not see them. Lord Baltimore is doing battle with a coven of witches, and if you read in the end of the last issue, he kind of is out in the street all bloodied and battered. He's gotten beaten the fuck out of these witches. But he's like, bring it! Come on! Come on! I can do it! I'm gonna take you bitches out! And, well, it's interesting to see how this is going to conclude. I am going to tell you that there's a lot of casualties in this. There's a lot of people that die in it. And it does potentially have an effect on Lord Baltimore and his feelings. Okay, I got another new book from Image Comics. This is called Plutonia, and it essentially is a group of kids together in school. I guess they're preteen, kind of coming of age. There's no real adult characters in this book. It's written by Jeff Lemire, same guy who is doing The Descender right now, which is an awesome book. If you haven't checked out The Descender, they actually give a nice advertisement for it on the back page. You are missing out. That is one of my favorite independent comic books. Favorite comic books, period. But from Jeff Lemire, it's kind of a coming-of-age story. These kids find a dead superhero in the woods. And I guess the first thing that will come to mind, right? Coming-of-age story, dead body in the woods, Stand By Me, right? Did you ever see that movie with Corey Feldman, sorry. River Phoenix, great actor. Miss you, River. Will Wheaton. Coming of age story. These guys go into the woods to try to find a dead body. This kind of has scenes that are reminiscent of like The Breakfast Club. You remember that movie with a bunch of misfits that had Saturday detention? Kind of shows a cool sequence in this book where it shows the very limited interaction that these kids have with their parents, and it kind of shows some of the background that they're facing. There's one kid whose father seems to be an alcoholic, and he's swiping cigarettes from the coffee table. Kind of reminds you of what? Judd Nelson, right? And I think there's a jock character in here. So it's a bit, trope-ish and kind of archetypes of certain characters. But it's gotten really great reviews so far. The artwork of Amy Lennox is great. Kind of has like a Scott Pilgrim quality. Lots of emotion in the eyes. And I'm intrigued to find out what has happened to this superhero that they find dead and battered in the woods. What the hell happened to her? They do give a little 4-page mini-story of this superhero. I guess a brief synopsis of what she was up to before she died, who she was, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it's gotten great reviews so far. Coloring by Jordy Belair. Plutonia. So check it out, folks. Plutonia. Now, on the Keep or Sleep list, I was going to get Pisces number 5, but guess what? Pisces has been discontinued. As a matter of fact, Pisces number 4 never came out. So I utilize Fresh Comics. When I go to the comic book store, I have my app out, and I'm using Fresh Comics. I'm looking through stuff, and I'm asking the shop owner, hey, where's Pisces number 5? He looked it up for me, and according to his sources and his records, it's been discontinued. Sucks. I really enjoyed that book, and I hate when that happens. And another book that I don't know if the last issue came out, if I missed it, but I swear Devilers number 7 by Dynamite Comics has not come out yet. Number 6 came out, and it was something like 3 months between number 5 and number 6. So I'm really hating that about independent books, especially. Another book that I was expecting out this week was of the Star Trek Green Lantern universe, number 3. Apparently it's been delayed a week, or Fresh Comics had it wrong, said it was coming out this week, but it's really not. Piss, right? Pisses me off, but what can you do? Now, I got one graphic novel, since I didn't get both of those books, right, which are like $4 each. So that's $8, right? I'm setting this up for how my line of thinking when I buy books. So I had $8 freed up because 2 of the books that I wasn't going to get. So I decided to get Aliens. I'm going to take this out of the wrapper. Aliens Salvation. And it's drawn by Mike Mignola, inked by Kevin Nolan, written by Dave Gibbons. It is widely regarded as one of the best Alien stories. It's a one-shot. It's a pretty thin hardcover book. I'm going to open it up. It looks like it's probably only about 40 pages, maybe. It was $11. $11, $14 in Canada. Boy, that's a big increase in Canada. $3. Jeez. Let me read the back to you, okay? When the God-fearing Selkirk is forced by his insane captain to abandon the space freighter Navamaru, he finds himself marooned on an inhospitable and remote world. Faced with starvation and madness, Selkirk believes that his salvation lies in the Meru's planet-fallen payload, but uncovering the cargo could unleash hell itself. One of the most memorable alien tales ever told is now available for the first time as a premiere edition hardcover. So, I've also heard that this Selkirk is a Christian, and it kind of gives a Christian perspective of the aliens, which I think is interesting. I can't wait to see what that's going to be, because I always wondered, religious folks, Christians, what are you going to say to yourselves, or what are they going to say? How are they going to explain when we one day find alien life, intelligent alien life, or that alien life finds us, it comes to us? What happens with the whole God thing, and what does God look like, and who is God, and just opens up a big can of worms, don't it? But what I'm really looking forward to seeing is Mike Mignola drawing aliens. And yeah, this is classic Mike Mignola drawings here. It looks great. It looks fantastic, and I'm glad. I didn't even know that this was coming out. I saw it on Fresh Comics, and then thankfully my comic book store had 2 copies of this left. It seems to be pretty good quality. It's pretty light, though. I can't get a page count on it, but it looks like there is lots of battling and alien fighting, and it's kind of cool to see Mike Mignola doing some aliens. So I can't wait to see the perspective that this Selkirk character, a Christian, has on the aliens. I'm sure that he probably just regards these creatures as some sort of demons, demons from hell out to destroy him. There's a picture of a mother alien. And maybe this is a book that I can start my Mignola series on and review in the Mignolaverse. I don't know. Maybe I'll just have, Philly Cuts Mignolaverse. That will be my contribution to Mike Mignola. Check that alien out. I love Mike Mignola, man. One of my favorites, not only as an artist, but also as a writer, and just for the whole universe that he's created with Hellboy, BPRD, Ape Sapien, and all the great artists and writers that's brought into the fold. So that's it, folks. That's number 51. Thanks for watching. As always, let me know which books you're liking, what are you disliking. Let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate everybody's kind words and comments. And I love doing my comic book haul every week for you guys, and I hope that I enrich your comic book reading and maybe at least get you interested in a book that you may not have considered buying before. All right, dudes, peace. Have a great week. Enjoy your books. Bye-bye.